Live on Facebook. So it's been an amazing year. Last year, we have been taking series of solving gender inequality using blockchain. So it is a new year, 2021, the first episode for this new year. So we are continuing with solving gender inequality using blockchain because it's a very sensitive topic and interesting topic to discuss. We've seen a lot of inequalities in different sectors. So we are seeing blockchain, blockchain people talk is going to cut across different sectors. So let's see how more discussions on how blockchain is going to be solving gender inequality. So if you have been following this series, you understand that it's normally being anchored by Rebeca Fernandez in partnership with Co.founder. So Rebecca, you're welcome.
Hi, Lee. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. Hi, everyone who is watching Co.founder. Happy New Year to everyone. Yes, as Lee mentioned, we know that we still live in 2021. Yes, 2021, we still live in inequality. There is gender gaps, and we have been talking this through all 2020, and we are going to still talking about it in 2021, and hopefully we are going to be able to fix it with blockchain technology. I have on the first program of 2021 with me Arnoud Berghuis. Hi Arnoud, how are you today?
Thank you for the nice introduction, Rebecca. Okay.
And we are going to be covering maybe a little bit more summary of gender inequality and how that could be fixed by blockchain technology. Just for people who is maybe new to this program, they can understand. And of course, the core essence of gender, it has a direct correlation of our decision-making type of process. And of course, that has also a direct impact in technology. So what are your vision on the decision-making approach, Arnold, and how do you think is linked to gender inequality?
Well, it's a very hot topic because these days we just see that our world is, especially in the COVID time, that not all the decisions are made like we like to see them. And that gives a lot of friction and a lot of bad decisions. But there were always bad decisions. And we can track that back to a history of basically since the Industrial Revolution, where we start to make larger decisions for larger groups than we were used to do. Imagine maybe a few thousand years and all the millions of years before that, people were making decisions in small groups, small communities, something you could oversee. And basically, you can imagine something like a cave where the people were living in. And that is how it happened for millions and millions of years. And now we have suddenly these modern times where we make decisions for billions of peoples. And the pandemic is a beautiful example. And we see that is not easy. And well, that's the issue, that's the topic. And when you look at the big things, you see, okay, it goes wrong there, but where does it go wrong more? And well, that's the topic of today. That's, for example, gender inequality. So on the other hand, we have a lot of solutions made possible by this beautiful new technology called blockchain. Maybe I must explain it a little bit upfront, otherwise it's so misty and they think maybe that we're going to talk about bitcoins and digital money, but that's not true, because blockchain is a very boring, simple, and kind of bookkeeping system in essence. And that makes that you can track your information, trace it, you cannot tamper with it, it's immutable. And it's safe and secure. So that's something completely new. Imagine if you go back in time, back to this Stone Age, there you could trace and see everything. Nothing was hidden. And now in this modern society, yes, the whole trick of cheating one another is that that you get away with it, that it's somewhere hidden your decision. And we believe this with this new technology we can repair that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with what you said, Arnold, that of course gender inequality exists in the world, is a hot topic. We have been talking about this since last year, but it's not a hot topic. It's a truly issue that is coming from ages and centuries ago. And of course, we know that the way that we decide things or stuff, it's something broken in the middle, right? And we are seeing this, for example, is right now it's a hot topic about what happened with Trump, I guess, in the Capitol in the past few days, for example. He has been, for example, talking about how the voting system or how this decision making was broken as well and was not right. So it's the same essence that we have with decision making towards to men or women. Is the same, right? So people see that something is broken in the middle, and of course the current technology as well is now enabling something in order to fix it. So we have now this new technology called blockchain that can really make this decision process or making process public, right? Or making in a motivated way or
it's beautiful.
A trustable way.
It's beautiful thought that you say it's a process, because everyone says that for example, in democracy and election, it's only about voting. Mm-hmm. But that's not true. It's the dialogue that goes up front, where you exchange your opinions between those people. And there, blockchain can do a lot. They can trace all these decisions and define the steps and be sure that everyone is participating. For example, women too.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and then you can say that you can do that in respect to privacy and the things you do not want to know. Mm-hmm. For example, you do not always have to know who was voting for that, for what, and in under what circumstances. But on a higher level, you like to gather this data and certainly want to know if everyone is there in the process in a proper way.
Yeah. So what is clear is that we have to have a log of what is happening. So we need to have this compliance enabling in any type of decision-making process that we do. If we come back to, for example, a corporate environment, we are seeing that the pay gender gaps, for example, for us, for people who's watching us, we have a product called Gap Tracer. And it has a direct, it's a solution for tracing these gaps by using blockchain technology. And we believe that there is a high percentage of inequalities coming in the offer stage is when a company wants to hire someone, right? And for the same position, doing exactly the same roles, the data is showing us that men and women are paying a different type of, different amount of money, right? There's pay gender gaps, for example. So we believe that there is some kind of decision process that is happening in the middle that is broken, that the current technology cannot capture. And we are envisioning that blockchain can help with that bridge between the decision-making approach and the technology, data, and these gaps. Do you agree?
Yeah,
Arnoud?
Fully agree. And to add to that basically, if you are basically start to trace the whole procedure in a safe, secure, privacy respecting way, then you can analyze that. And not only the variables we are used to analyze, but especially those variables that are softer, and that are not standardized, because the blockchain can handle that. Because the blockchain has on top of this data a kind of logical layer to manipulate that data and to aggregate data and to take data together, what we normally not do.
Exactly.
We also do not copy the complete database. We only take a single field or a single row of data. So it's a complete new way of working, and it solves a lot of issues we could not solve for a long, long time.
And especially as well, as you mentioned, that we take a specific field from the database, or we just get one stuff, it will also reduce a lot of bunch of admin tasks that we have at the moment. For example, coming back to the corporate world, we know the time spent in gathering data from different sources and reporting and KPIs and all kind of stuff. And also, therefore, in industries such as human resources, there is no standardized process for reporting, right? So blockchain is the solution for these type of issues, because we see that artificial intelligence cannot help, because the algorithm is also biases and so on. So what are all your thoughts on this, Arnoud, about KPIs, automation, and how the decision process?
Yeah, two main topics. First of all, like I told, you can also catch softer variables that normally are not clearly defined, and it's very important within this in this environment, because a lot of things are just a little bit vague and not standardized, because it's a kind of professional judgment they like to write down and to capture, and we make that possible. So we can transform that. What also important is that we can transform and manipulate data that is from two completely different technical or geographical source. For example, the data, corporate data from one company you like to use in another company. So how do you do that? That's really a big problem within HR.
Absolutely.
And basically blockchain can solve that. And that turns the HR world upside down, I believe.
Yeah. And of course, if we have, I guess everyone knows this famous phrase that says that what you measure improves. So, of course, if we want to fix and reduce at least the gender inequality, we need to measure it. And at the moment, there is a huge issue with doing so. Because we know that data is inaccurate, not only in HR, I will say in almost any industry in the world, and it's because the current technology doesn't have this connection link between systems. You just mentioned, Arnold, and blockchain can solve this problem, firstly, and also these analytics and all this data, and how we can automate all these processes, and especially the decision-making process, that we can remove this layer that is broken in the middle, that something is not right, and there is gaps at the end, and people knows it. So I guess we need to start living in a fairness world, and blockchain can help with this. And you, as you mentioned at the beginning, people might think, oh, blockchain is cryptocurrency, and it's not. It's more than that. It's a new way of doing business, a new way of doing technology, and a new way of society in general, right?
Yes, and most of all, it's an admissible piece within the corporate suite of tools that you need to even handle ICT itself.
Yeah.
For example, when you have artificial intelligence, okay, it can do a lot, but it's all in the exceptions, and the exceptions can be handled by blockchain. So it's a kind of concept we maybe describe in another lecture, is about a kind of caged autonomy, where you just build a kind of digital wall around a system that is sometimes out of control. That's always the fear of artificial intelligence. It does do a lot, and it does do a lot very nice, but sometimes the robot spins out of control, and that's what we are afraid of, especially when you have to deal with humans.
Yes, and coming back to the topic, Arnold, of gender inequality, Gap Tracer, which is our product, the decision-making type of process. Can you just let the people know, because a lot of people has this question of, there is a lot of confidential records. Are you going to take data from my system? It is hard to implement blockchain. Can you give us a little bit more insights about this?
Blockchain is in essence a very easy tool, and that's why the blockchain is also so successful. But it's something completely new. Remember that you got the internet. In the beginning, you had this discussion: is it a phone book? Is it a brochure? What is it? And later you apologize to your friends that no, it's something else. It's something new. And now we cannot think that internet is not there anymore. We all know what it is, but it's certainly something different. Blockchain is the same story, but now you transfer values, and it's about compliance, it's about certification, it's about bookkeeping. And once you understand such a system, then you would be stupid not to do it, because the blockchain is there. It's open source. Everyone can take the blockchain. It's not. Of course, we sell blockchain solutions within HR. That's fine, but it doesn't mean that that it's not available for everyone. So you can take this open source software and use it just like the internet. It's just there. You just switch it on, and you better do it, because it can handle a lot of things that you could not do with current technology. It's something we were waiting for basically for decades. We made a lot of mistakes in our thinking because there was something there that we didn't know what it was, and it appeared to be blockchain. So now we can take out biases, we can control even the older technology like artificial intelligence, and of course we are very keen to close the gender gap, bias or mistake, but we can also trace and stop technical errors or any kind of error, and especially design new systems that could not be designed before. It was not possible to make a proper HR system that transfers, for example, KPIs from one company to another company. You know that, right? You may tell a little bit more about that. That's your topic.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all. And we know now this ICO 30414, which tends to standardize the HR metrics, but is all manual input. There is no such a system that could automate that process. And of course, there is no such a system that can transfer that data from one company to another, or even from one system to another. So there is always a manual input in there. So manual input, we know that has errors on top. And also there's a lot of people that believe that blockchain is about, okay, I want to implement a blockchain solution. I will need to go through a roadmap or a testing phase and blah, blah, blah. So it's very complex. Do I need technical people with me? What are your views on that, Arnold? Because we have a lot people asking that question as well.
Blockchain comes with a decentralized paradigm, and we developed a kind of evolutionary way of building that stuff. So of course, you need to make a blueprint, and that's of course where it goes wrong with many systems, that they forget to make a blueprint before they start. But still, the system is decentralized, and you build in an evolutionary way. So we are very smart. We focus on taking standardized, high quality, best of class legacy systems, and like OpenHR, for example, and we link them, and then things become very, very easy.
Yeah, and especially because we respond to fundamental questions such as how we can fix the gender gaps through the blockchain, and we do that with our gap tracer, and we can also track this innovation mindset or skill set that the company wants. Is that right, Arnold, as well?
Yes,
they can do that.
There are a lot of things we could not do in the past, and now they appear to be easy, and that's a joy. That's a joy. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So we just wanted to say in this first program of 2021, hello. Remind everyone that blockchain is a very easy technology. It's not Bitcoin, it's not cryptocurrency. It's a new way, new paradigm, and requires a paradigm shift, a new way of thinking. It's pretty easy, as Arnoud well mentioned. We need to focus in blueprints, in ways of doing stuff, rather than to start building something that could be broken in the end. And decision-making type of process is true, Arnold, is a huge one with this compliance, social compliance, and the way that we can log that kind of stuff so we can trace the errors, the biases. And any final thoughts before we close, Arnold?
No, I think that was beautiful told, and sure, we really can improve and redesign systems and recalibrate systems, get out errors, even control difficult technologies like AI that also have their weak sides. So and basically redesign systems in an evolutionary way. So it's a joy.
Yes. So I just want to say that if someone wants to reach out to us, we are very active in LinkedIn, of course, in Co.News Extra. We are in partnership with We Are Human Capital Blockchain Ltd. You can find us, and I'm sure that Co.News Extra will share our details afterwards. We have new ways of doing technology through blockchain. We have methods and tools. We have a specific product called Gap Tracer, which has this intent to fix the inequality. So if someone wants to reach out to us, please do so. I will say thank you so much, Arnold. It was great, as always.
And thank you for the summary. And thanks Co.News Extra, of course, for their interesting environment and their all the nice lectures to put us in between.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. We will be again in a few weeks. Hi, Lee. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Rebecca and Arnoud. It has been a very nice conversation. Thank you very much. It's a bi-weekly program, so in the next 2 weeks, I will be having solving gender inequality using blockchain once again. So thank you very much. See you in the next 2 weeks.
Yes, thank you.